Welcome back, the followers of Stoic wisdom by Zeno. Have you ever met someone who seemed amazing at first, only to later realize they weren't who you thought they were? It hits hard, doesn't it? You've been fooled. That person who once seemed so perfect suddenly reveals a side you didn't expect. Now, you're left questioning everything, wondering why you didn't see it coming. Here's the thing. People always show you who they truly are. They just don't always make it obvious right away. But the truth is, if you look closely, you can spot those signs early on. You don't have to wait until your heart gets broken or your trust gets shattered. In fact, you must protect yourself, guard your peace, and learn to see through the masks people wear. And believe me, it's not about being paranoid or overly cautious. It's about reclaiming your freedom. I've learned the hard way that people can hide their true intentions, but their actions will always reveal their character. You just have to know where to look. It could be in how they treat someone who can't do anything for them, or how they handle a little success. We all show our true colors at some point. The key is to start paying attention, really paying attention, to the small things, the little moments that reveal their true nature. Here's a wake-up call. If you're always second-guessing someone's intentions or questioning your worth in their presence, it's time to step back. Trust your instincts. Protect your energy. You deserve to be around people who lift you up, not bring you down. In the next few minutes, we're going to dive into 5 signs that will help you instantly see someone's true colors. Pay attention. And don't let anyone waste your time or energy. You don't owe anyone your loyalty or your peace if they're not worthy of it. Are you ready? Let's get started. But first, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I'm going to show you how to protect yourself and keep your life free from negativity. Number 1. 5 subtle signs that reveal who people really are. Are you paying attention? How well do you really know the people in your life? Are you paying attention to the small signs that reveal their true character? Or are you letting charm, words, and first impressions cloud your judgment? This is your wake-up call, because those subtle signs are always there, and they can save you a whole lot of heartache if you choose to listen. Here's the hard truth. People reveal who they truly are all the time. But most of us miss those signs because we get distracted by the surface, by what we want to believe. We want to believe that the person who's kind to us is kind to everyone, that the person who's successful must be happy, and that someone who talks a big game must be genuine. But let's be real. Actions speak louder than words, and their true colors will eventually show. It's not about being overly suspicious or jaded. It's about being aware. Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of self-awareness and emotional control. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This is where we need to start. Instead of focusing on what people tell you, pay attention to what they do. Their actions, their behavior in different situations, and how they treat others will give you a clear view of their true self. Let me tell you about a time when I ignored those subtle signs. I had a friend who always seemed so supportive, always encouraging me when I achieved something new. But one day, I hit a big milestone, something I'd been working on for months, and when I shared it with her, her reaction was, well, let's just say it wasn't what I expected. Instead of celebrating with me, she quickly turned the conversation to her own struggles, completely brushing off my success. At first, I was hurt. I thought maybe I was being too sensitive. But after some reflection, I realized that her reaction had less to do with me and more to do with her own insecurities. Here's where I made the mistake. I ignored the signs. I wanted to believe that she was just having a bad day, that she was going through something personal, so I let it slide. But looking back, I realized that this wasn't an isolated incident. Over time, I saw other signs of jealousy and bitterness. Her response to my success wasn't a one-time thing. It was a reflection of how she truly felt about me. And once I started paying attention to those signs, it became clear. She wasn't really happy for me. She was envious. The lesson here is simple. Don't ignore the signs. People will always show you who they are, sometimes in big, dramatic ways, and sometimes in small, subtle ways. It's not about being paranoid, it's about being aware. That's why you need to start looking for the small things. It's in how they react when they're not the center of attention. It's in how they treat people who can't do anything for them. It's in those offhand comments that might seem innocent at first, but reveal a lot about their true mindset. Here's another story. I once worked with a colleague who seemed incredibly polite and friendly, but when it came time to share credit for a team project, she quickly claimed all the glory for herself. She brushed off the efforts of others and made sure everyone knew that it was her work that made the project a success. At first, I thought, maybe she's just excited to be recognized. But over time, I started to see a pattern. Whenever there was a chance to shine, she would take it for herself. Slowly, I realized that her kindness wasn't really kindness. It was a mask for her need for control and recognition. Here's where Stoic philosophy comes in. Don't let others' actions dictate your peace. The Stoics believed that we can't control what others do, but we can control how we respond. So when you see these signs, whether it's jealousy, manipulation, or self-centeredness, step now. Let's get personal for a moment. Think about the people in your life right now. Are there any subtle signs you've missed? Have you ever ignored a red flag just because you wanted to believe the best in someone? Maybe it's a friend who always seems supportive, but when it really counts, they're nowhere to be found. Or maybe it's a family member who talks a big game about caring for you, but doesn't show up when you need them. Pay attention. Trust your instincts. These are the signs you can't ignore. So, what should you do when you spot these signs? First, reclaim your freedom. You don't have to keep people in your life who don't have your best interests at heart. Step back, protect yourself, and create space for people who bring positivity and genuine support into your life. And remember, it's not about being harsh or judgmental. It's about protecting your mental and emotional well-being. Don't let people who wear masks rob you of your peace. In the end, remember that your time is precious. Protect your peace. Guard your energy. People will always show you who they really are if you're paying attention. It's up to you to make sure you're surrounded by the right people. Pay attention to those subtle signs. And don't be afraid to walk away from those who aren't worthy of your time. If you found these insights helpful and feel that learning how to see someone's true colors can change the way you approach relationships and protect your peace, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share this video. We're providing content that can truly transform your life, one lesson at a time. Remember, paying attention to these signs isn't just advice. It's a way to reclaim your power and live with more clarity. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experiences in the comments below, and let's start a conversation about how this has impacted your journey. Number 2. How to spot a fake. 5 clues to expose. True intentions. Have you ever looked back on a friendship, a relationship, or even a business deal and thought, how did I miss that? How did I not see their true colors? It's like you were wearing blinders the whole time, and now that the mask has come off, it's impossible to ignore. You've been duped. The person you thought you knew, the one you trusted, turns out to be someone completely different. Why did you fall for it? The truth is, We're all vulnerable to this kind of deception, but there's a way to avoid it. Here's the hard truth. People show you who they really are, but you have to pay attention. It's not about being cynical or overly paranoid. It's about protecting your peace, your heart, and your mind. You deserve to be surrounded by people who lift you up, not drag you down. But how do you spot a fake before they hurt you? How can you see past the charm, the smiles, and the sweet words? Simple. You need to start noticing the little things, the signs that can tell you more than 1,000 promises ever will. Let me share a story. A few years ago, I was really excited about a new partnership I'd formed. The person seemed genuine, kind-hearted, someone I could trust. But over time, something didn't sit right. There was an underlying tension. I noticed that every time something good happened for me, they either downplayed it or deflected the conversation. When I got a promotion, their response wasn't "congratulations," but more like, "Wow, must be nice. Some of us don't get that lucky." At first I brushed it off, but looking back, I can see that moment was a huge red flag, a sign that their intentions weren't as pure as they seemed. You see, here's the thing about people who aren't truly supportive. They can't handle your success because it shines a light on their own insecurities. That's exactly what happened to me. It wasn't that they hated me, but my growth exposed things they weren't ready to face. And that's the harsh reality. People's true intentions come out when they feel threatened or insecure. It's in those moments of stress, competition, or discomfort that they'll reveal their true colors. You just have to be paying attention. Let me ask you this. How many times have you experienced that gut feeling when someone is being too nice, too flattering, but you can't quite put your finger on why it feels off? Maybe they always want to hear about your problems, but they never open up about their own. Or they always seem eager to give advice, but never seem to take any themselves. That's not a friend, that's a fake. It's easy to get caught up in the surface-level connection, but remember, actions speak louder than words. If they're constantly taking, but never giving, or if they only want to be around when it benefits them, it's time to step back. You're not here to be anyone's emotional punching bag or source of validation. You need to understand that there's no shame in setting boundaries. In fact, it's one of the most empowering things you can do. Don't let anyone drain your energy, feed off your success, or take advantage of your kindness. Guard your peace fiercely. It's not just about keeping toxic people out, it's about creating space for the right people to step in. As the Stoics say, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Think about it. We all know that one person who can't handle someone else's success. They make excuses, they complain, they find reasons to downplay your wins. And you know what? That's a reflection of their character, not yours. It's easy to take it personally, to feel hurt, but you must remember that their reactions speak more about their internal struggles than anything you've done. They're revealing who they are. You just need to see it for what it is. So, here's my advice. When someone shows you their true intentions, whether it's by belittling your success, ignoring your boundaries, or treating you differently when things don't go their way, don't ignore it. Listen to your instincts. Trust that inner voice that's warning you. Protect yourself from people who try to use you, manipulate you, or hold you back from reaching your full potential. You don't have to keep giving your time and energy to people who aren't there for the right reasons. At the end of the day, the most important relationship you have is with yourself. The best way to reclaim your freedom is to stop allowing fake people into your life. Pay attention to how they treat others, not just you. Watch for the signs, because your peace is non-negotiable. So, what do you do when you spot a fake? You step back, you protect your heart, you guard your peace, and most importantly, you reclaim your freedom. It's time to stop letting others steal your joy and energy. Be conscious, be aware, and keep your circle tight with those who lift you up. You're worthy of people who celebrate you, not people who secretly wish they could tear you down. If you're ready to stop letting others take advantage of you and start attracting the right kind of people into your life, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. Let's talk about the signs that help you spot the real ones from the fakes. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. What have you learned from people who tried to show you a different side than the one you expected? Let's discuss. Protect yourself. Reclaim your freedom. Number 3, protect your peace. Are you letting toxic people take what's rightfully yours? How often do you find yourself drained, upset, or simply unsettled after spending time with certain people? Do you find yourself questioning your worth, your values, or your goals after a conversation with them? Here's a tough question. Are you letting toxic people steal your peace? You've probably heard the saying, not everyone who smiles at you is your friend. And it's true. Sometimes the people who claim to care about you the most are the ones who are secretly taking your energy, your confidence, and your happiness. They do it slowly, often in ways that you don't even realize until it's too late. But the truth is, you have the power to protect your peace and reclaim control over who you allow into your life. Think of it this way. Life is like a garden, and your peace is the most precious flower. The last thing you want is for someone to come along and trample on it, especially when you've worked so hard to nurture it. Toxic people are like weeds that can quietly creep in, poisoning everything around them if you don't pay attention. These people may not always show their true colors right away, but eventually the signs will show, if you're paying attention. I've been there. I've allowed certain people to push my boundaries, make me doubt myself, and exhaust me emotionally. For the longest time, I thought that maybe it was me. Maybe I was being too sensitive, or maybe I just didn't understand them. But over time, I started to notice a pattern. Whenever I'd spend time with these individuals, I'd leave feeling less like myself. I'd feel anxious, small, or even unworthy. It didn't make sense at first, but then I realized their negativity wasn't my fault. I was letting them take my peace. One powerful lesson I've learned, rooted in Stoic philosophy, is that we can't control what other people do or say, but we can control how we react. And more importantly, we can control who we let into our lives. Protecting your peace isn't about changing others. It's about changing how you allow them to affect you. If someone constantly leaves you feeling drained or insecure, it's time to step back. You don't need to feel guilty for protecting your own mental and emotional well-being. Imagine this. You're walking down a path and you come across a person who at first seems harmless enough. They smile, they make small talk, and they seem friendly. But after a few steps down the road, you realize that every time they speak, they're planting thorns in your path. Maybe they make sly comments that undermine your confidence, or perhaps they turn everything into a competition. At first, you try to ignore it, but the thorns begin to pile up, and soon you can't walk without stepping on one. This is how toxic people work. It's not always the big things they do. Sometimes it's the subtle comments, the constant negativity, the small acts of disrespect that build up over time. They may say things like, "You're lucky you're so successful," or "Must be nice to have time for that." These remarks might seem innocent enough, but they plant seeds of doubt in your mind. They make you question whether your achievements are truly yours or whether they were just handed to you. It's important to recognize when these little comments are starting to hurt. Don't wait until the emotional damage has already been done. Protect your peace by setting boundaries early on. If someone doesn't respect your boundaries, you don't owe them your time, your energy, or your emotions. Reclaim your freedom and step away from the people who don't bring out the best in you. It's also crucial to remember that protecting your peace isn't about cutting everyone out of your life. Life is messy, and people go through things that sometimes affect their behavior. But you need to ask yourself, are they intentionally harming you, or are they simply struggling with their own issues? If someone's negativity is constant and intentional, that's your sign to step back. But if they're going through a rough patch, offer them kindness from a distance and make sure to guard your own energy. Here's the reality. You can't change people, but you can change who you spend your time with, and you can change how you allow others to affect your life. This is where the power lies. Protecting your peace means being intentional about the people you allow in your circle. You don't need to explain yourself or feel guilty about it. The people who truly care about you will understand when you need space, and they will respect your boundaries. In the end, your peace is yours to protect. Guard it like the treasure it is. Don't let anyone or anything rob you of it. If you want to live a life of clarity, joy, and emotional freedom, you have to take control. You have to be the one to protect your heart. So, ask yourself, are you letting someone take your peace, or are you finally ready to take it back? If this resonates with you, take a moment to think about the people in your life. Are they helping you grow, or are they draining you? Protect your peace, reclaim your freedom, and choose the relationships that lift you up. Number 4. Unmasking the real you. How to see through the facade. People. Put up. Have you ever been fooled by someone who seemed like a perfect match, only to find out they were nothing like they appeared? It's a painful experience, one that leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew about them, and maybe even about yourself. But here's a hard truth. People will always wear masks. They put on a front that looks shiny, attractive, and reassuring, but behind that smile, there's a real person you need to understand. The trick is learning to spot the facade before it's too late. But how do you unmask the real person standing in front of you? Here's where Stoic philosophy comes in. The Stoics believed that everything external is fleeting and unreliable. People's behavior, their words, their appearances. These things can deceive you. The only truth, they said, lies in our own judgment and awareness. That means the more we practice seeing the world and others with clear eyes, the easier it becomes to spot the real them beneath the layers of show. It's easy to fall for the glittery surface. We all want to believe that people are as good as they seem. But if you dig just a little deeper, you'll find that their true character will show up in the quiet moments, when they don't think anyone is watching. Those small actions speak louder than any well-chosen words or polished appearances. And here's the lesson. Don't let your guard down too soon. Don't let the mask fool you into thinking someone is what they're not. I've been there. I've trusted people because they knew exactly what to say, and they had all the right moves. They smiled, they complimented, they made you feel seen and heard. But when the pressure was on, when life got messy, those same people showed me who they really were. And believe me, it wasn't pretty. They were quick to turn their back, slow to lend a hand, and always quick to blame someone else when things went wrong. What did I learn from that? That no matter how great the mask looks, the real person can only be hidden for so long. You can't fake authenticity. Take a moment and think back to a time when someone you trusted showed their true face. Maybe it was a friend who turned on you when you needed them most, or a coworker who smiled in your face but stabbed you in the back when you weren't looking. Think about how you felt when you realized the truth. It stung, right? That's the emotional cost of believing in someone's facade without taking the time to truly see them. But here's the thing. There's power in that pain. Every time you get burned, every time you spot a facade for what it is, you're learning something valuable. You're gaining insight into the kind of people you need to protect yourself from, the kind of people whose words don't match their actions. When you can recognize those masks, you can step back and reclaim your freedom. You can choose to guard your peace and stop wasting your energy on people who aren't as real as they seem. And I want to emphasize this. This is not about being cynical or untrusting. It's about being aware. It's about choosing to protect yourself from people who don't deserve your trust. When you're constantly looking out for masks, it allows you to spend your time and energy on relationships that actually build you up instead of tearing you down. One thing I learned from Stoic philosophy is the importance of keeping our emotions in check and not letting them cloud our judgment. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts," meaning, if we constantly focus on people's facades, we're coloring our own soul with doubt and insecurity. Instead, shift your focus. Look at actions, not just words. Look at patterns, not just one-time gestures. When you do, the mask will inevitably slip. Take it from me. Don't let anyone tell you who they are. Let their actions speak for them. If they treat waitstaff like garbage, if they dismiss the struggles of others, if they can't handle success without turning jealous, that's who they really are. Trust me, this isn't about being perfect or judging people harshly. It's about protecting yourself from the ones who will drain you. So the next time you meet someone new, ask yourself, what are they showing me really? Are their actions in alignment with their words? Are they consistent, or do they switch gears when no one's looking? Don't be afraid to step back and let time reveal the truth. Your instincts will guide you. The world is full of people wearing masks, and while some might genuinely be good people, others are just out to use you, manipulate you, or take what they can. Protect your peace. Guard your heart. Learn to spot the true colors behind the mask, and you'll protect yourself from unnecessary hurt. You deserve relationships that are real, transparent, and trustworthy. If you found this helpful, let me know by liking this video. And don't forget to subscribe, because this journey of self-awareness and growth is one we're all in together. Let's keep learning how to see through the facade and reclaim our freedom. If you found these insights helpful and feel that learning how to see someone's true colors can change the way you approach relationships and protect your peace, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share this video. We're providing content that can truly transform your life, one lesson at a time. Remember, paying attention to these signs isn't just advice. It's a way to reclaim your power and live with more clarity. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experiences in the comments below, and let's start a conversation about how this has impacted your journey. Number 5. Guard your heart. How do you know when someone's true character is showing? How do you know when someone's true character is showing? What signs should you watch for before it's too late? Let's face it, people can be charming, convincing, and make you believe they're the best thing since sliced bread. But don't be fooled. Their true colors will eventually show, and if you're paying attention, you'll spot the signs early on. I've been there. I've trusted the wrong people, let down my guard, and let someone in only to realize later that I'd ignored all the little warning signs that were right in front of me. At first, it doesn't seem like a big deal. Maybe they're just having a bad day, or maybe they don't mean it. But the truth is, every interaction is a glimpse into someone's soul. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion. The more you dig, the more you see their true self, and whether it's good, bad, or ugly, you can't unsee it. It reminds me of a time when I trusted a friend who seemed perfect at first. They were warm, funny, and always seemed to have my back. But over time, the cracks started to show. They'd make little comments that in the moment felt harmless. "You're lucky you get to do that," they'd say when I shared some good news. Or, "Well, I could have done that if I had more time." These comments weren't just offhand remarks. They were little digs, subtle ways of undermining my success without outright attacking me. The mask they wore was starting to slip, and I was blind to it. Why? Because I didn't guard my heart. I was so caught up in the illusion of friendship that I ignored the warning signs. Here's where it gets real. When someone consistently reacts negatively to your success, your happiness, or your growth, it's a red flag. It's easy to brush it off as a bad mood or jealousy. But let's be honest, true friends will lift you up, not bring you down. If your success makes them uncomfortable, that's not your problem, it's theirs. In these moments, you need to protect yourself, guard your peace, reclaim your freedom by distancing yourself from people who make you feel small or less than. It doesn't just stop there. People show you who they really are when you set boundaries. Think about it. How do they react when you say no? Do they respect it? Or do they push against it, trying to guilt you into changing your mind? That's the moment you really see someone's true character. They might try to manipulate or make you feel bad for having boundaries. It's not about what you're saying no to. It's about them not liking the fact that you're asserting yourself. In that moment, you have to decide. Do you keep pushing through, or do you step back and protect your own well-being? It's not just the big moments that reveal someone's character. It's the everyday stuff too. How do they treat waiters, cashiers, or people they think have no power? How someone treats those who can't do anything for them is a direct reflection of who they really are. The way they handle small moments says everything about their true nature. It's like a test, and if they fail, don't ignore it. I remember going out with someone who was charming and fun, until the waiter got their order wrong. Suddenly, their temper flared, and they were rude, dismissive, and acting as if the world owed them something. That moment told me everything I needed to know. If they can't show respect in simple situations, how will they treat you when things get tough? Let's talk about your own reactions for a second. How do you handle these moments? When someone shows their true colors, do you stick around because you're afraid of confrontation, or because you want to believe the best in them? Or do you listen to your gut and take a step back, protecting your peace and making sure you're not being drained by someone who isn't worthy of your energy? It's easy to ignore the signs, but the truth is, the signs are always there. The question is, are you paying attention? You have to be real with yourself. Protect your heart. Set boundaries. Walk away from toxic people who show you their true colors, no matter how hard it is. It's not about them, it's about you. It's about reclaiming your freedom and not allowing anyone to dim your light. Guard your peace fiercely, because your well-being is too important to be left in the hands of someone who doesn't care. So, take a deep breath. Look at your life and the people in it. Ask yourself, are you protecting your heart? Are you seeing people for who they really are? Or are you letting them wear a mask? The signs are there, always. It's time to start paying attention and protecting what matters most: your peace, your happiness, and your future. In conclusion, the ability to recognize someone's true character early on is a powerful tool for protecting your peace and well-being. By paying attention to the signs they give you, how they treat others, how they handle your success, and how they react when you set boundaries, you can save yourself from toxic relationships and unnecessary heartache. Remember, guard your heart, trust your instincts, and prioritize people who genuinely uplift you. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever experienced someone showing their true colors? Share your story in the comments.